Welcome back to Pinebrook Homestead. Today I got the sourdough bread in, and that is a long fermented bread. So I'm making the dough today to bake for tomorrow's dinner. And then we are tackling some herbs. It's fall and I don't want any of this to go to waste. A lot of these herbs, once I get my first frost, will be gone. So you got to see me taking some chives today. We had the sage in the upper garden, peppermint on the deck, as well as our rosemary. And then we have our parsley and oregano. So we are gonna deal with some of these herbs, and I'm gonna show you how to process them, dry them, the best way of storing them, just some different things that you can do. I know a lot of people in the suburbs, they do grow pots of herbs. So let's see how we can take care of it. So with our parsley, you know, some of my pieces or some of my leaves of parsley don't look so good. So I'm not gonna take them. I'm just gonna take those and ditch to the side. But what am I gonna take? I'm gonna take the top leaves here and I'll go all the way down and get the parsley. So this is a curly version of parsley, but then I also have some Italian parsley mixed in with this. And we are just gonna take a chunk of this out. Just like that. And each herb has a different way of preserving it. And then I will show you a sneak peek into my herb cabinet where I store all of the herbs and I use them in my cooking all winter long. All right, so we've got, that one doesn't look so good. And then I want to grab some of this Italian over here. Parsley is actually very good for you, and it does a lot of great flavoring to your meals. I do love to put it on fresh, but like I said, once the winter comes, this parsley is going to be gone. All right. And then as you go around your pots, if you see any of this dead area, just pull it off. Freshen up the pot. And I'm going to take a little bit. I've got some dead in here as well. Get that out of there. And then I'm going to keep this out and continue to use it fresh until I can't anymore. And then I will probably take the last of the herbs in. I'll cut it all down before I put the pot away. And the neat thing about this is every time you use your herbs, it tastes like summer. Not to mention, herbs and spices in the grocery store are very expensive. So if all you can do to start alleviating some of your expense is next year grow a pot of herbs, and you can actually grow herbs in your kitchen all winter long if you have a sunny window. All right, so I'm gonna take this last bit here, and then we're gonna move over to the oregano. So the oregano looks a little difficult. I've got some dark spots in here that I'm just gonna cut out. But then I have some great leaves in here. Just like that. And like I said, I use these all winter long, and I will show you my cabinet and how I store them after we get the processing done. I'd love to know if any of you grow herbs on your deck or your patio. It's the easiest thing. Do you grow them indoors? I love them. And the smell is amazing. All right, let's take a couple more. And you can clean them up. There's a few leaves in here like this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some dark on it, and I just pull them off and I clean it right up. And then we are gonna take you inside and actually show you what I do and how to preserve these things. All right, I still have 2 containers of oregano that I'll be working on, but I am making the homemade tomato sauce and other canning items that I'll end up using them in my recipes. So we are gonna catch you inside, and I'm gonna show you how to process all this. All right. So we are back in the kitchen, and I have all the herbs washed, and they're kind of drying. And so we're gonna tackle how we are going to take care of these and store these herbs so that we have them through the winter. So we're gonna do the chives first. So 2 methods to the chives. One is to chop them up and freeze them. I just put them in a Ziploc bag, and then I can take them out and use them as needed. The other method is interesting, and you know, I forgot to pull something out so I could show you, but I will as soon as we get this done. So we're gonna take our knife and we're just gonna chop up the chives. If anyone does chives differently, please share with me, because I would love to know. I am all about learning. I do not have all the methods. This is just what I've been doing for the last couple of years, and it's worked. So, but if somebody else, now I do know that you can freeze dry chives, but I don't have a freeze dryer. So we are gonna do it this way. Okay, so we've got our pile of chives. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a handy ice cube tray, and we're gonna fill the chives in the ice cube tray. I have a little kitty down here that wants my attention. She is hooked onto the side of my leg. Do you guys have animals? We have 2 dogs, which we have a Silky Terrier and a Yorkie, and we have 3 cats. I love animals. I wish I could have chickens. I wish I could have my own fresh eggs, but with an HOA, I can't. I wish I could have a greenhouse too, but with an HOA, I can't. That's all right, because we are building a cold frame this year. And so I will share that with you. We are going to get fresh greens as long as we can. I get disgusted with the lettuce in the grocery store. It either looks like crap, excuse my French, looks awful, or it is so expensive and it goes bad quickly. All right, so we have all those chives. I've got a few chives kind of that flew everywhere, but we're just going to scoop these up. So we have filled the 11 containers of chives here. I probably could take from a few and add to another, so I don't overpack them, because then what we are gonna do with these, let me take some of them from this one. There we go. Good, now we got all 12. Okay, so what we're gonna do with these is we are gonna take our organic extra virgin olive oil, and we are going to pour it over top of them, and then we're gonna put it in the freezer. All right, so let's do that real quick. And then how you're gonna use these, well, if you have a recipe that you want some chives in, and let's say you're frying up something or browning something, whether it's meat or vegetables, you're gonna take this frozen block of olive oil and chives. And my glasses for this one, make sure I get this correct. But you'll take your block of chives with the olive oil, and that is what you're going to put in the bottom of the pan before you put your vegetables in, or your fish. They're great with fish, pork chops, chicken, anything that you want a little bit of flavor with. Okay, that looks good. Let me add a little bit here. Perfect. Now I have a little lid and I love this, and that way it seals it and I don't spill oil all over the freezer. But let me show you something. We're gonna put this in. So this is a bag of olive oil and basil. And this is what I use when I'm making my homemade pasta sauce. And I'll just pop this in, and it's got the basil and everything right in it. I just store it in a Ziploc bag and I use it as needed. So that's what we're doing with our chives. Along with, we'll have some that we can just spread on top of a dish. Okay, let me get this back in the freezer. The freezer is getting full because we are processing so much. Okay, so we are done with the olive oil, the chives. Those chives and basil are really the only two that I do that with. Next, we are going to move on to the rosemary and the parsley. So this is my dehydrator. Now I actually have two dehydrators, but one, it runs hot and it uses a lot of electricity. So this one doesn't use as much. And when you're drying herbs, you want to dry them at like 95 degrees. And this is a Nesco, and it's inexpensive, and I can link it below for you. So I'm just gonna take the bottom one and we are gonna start. We're gonna do half, well, I don't know, we'll see. Because I do have a lot of rosemary here, but I am out of rosemary. We used all our rosemary last year. So I'm just gonna lay this along the bottom of the dehydrator on the racks. If it's too long, I just cut it. My kitchen smells amazing. It's so fun. I love the scent of all the fresh herbs. Now this is a big one, so I'm probably gonna take these off. Let me get my scissors. Just to make it a little bit smaller. And guys, I am so excited. I know this video, as well as my kitchen grocery shopping video, sounded a little echoey. Well, guess what came today? My microphone. So I will not be echoey. You'll be able to understand me, and I appreciate all of your support and everyone who has watched our videos and subscribed to our channel. It means the world to me. So we're just gonna continue on. And it takes about 24 hours to dry them in this dehydrator. But like I said, my other one, it's great for jerky. My husband will make jerky. It's great for hydrating fruit, but it runs pretty hot, and it does take a lot of electricity. And right now, with the cost of everything, I am trying to be mindful on the electricity bill, which is one of the reasons why I love my oil lamp. You know, if I wasn't doing this video, I would have all the lights off, and I would just have my oil lamp on, and I would probably have my soft music on, and it just makes me so happy to be doing this, as well as giving you guys some inspiration. And there's round two, and it is just, it's so peaceful. I absolutely love the gardens. I love homemaking. It's a privilege. We get to do this for our families. And sharing the garden and all of this with you guys has been a dream come true. So I just thank all of you. who has subscribed and watched the videos. There's so much more to come. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that. We're gonna take the top one and we're gonna do the parsley. So these are the two herbs that I put into the dehydrator, the parsley and the rosemary. Now I only have one, and I just break it off. I don't dehydrate the stem. I think it would take too long. So I've got the parsley here, and I just break it off and lay it on there. We have a lot of parsley. But then this is something I'm not buying in the grocery store. So it's funny, I grow most of my vegetables and everything from seed. And the herbs are the only thing, I have before, but the herbs are the only thing that really I'll buy from the groceries or from the greenhouse. It takes a while to get, especially rosemary, it takes a while to get that going. Like I would probably have to start it in December or January to get a good rosemary plant compared to when I get it at the greenhouse. But I'll tell you, the greenhouse is an extremely dangerous place for me. I have always said I can do damage in a greenhouse. Forget shoes or clothing. Nope. I can spend hours in the greenhouse. It is a dangerous place. Okay, so I will finish this up, trying to do this quickly so I can move on for you. And I'm actually kind of mixing up the curly hair and the Italian. I can tell out there the curly versus the Italian, I should say. I can't say I find a huge flavor difference in the two of them. I'm sure there is a slight, but you know, it's my pantry. And if it gets mixed up, but I have parsley that we grew, oh well, I'm happy. All right, last one. So then what you do is you close the lid on it, put it to 95 degrees, and let it do its magic. All right, last but not least. So these are actually 4 methods. So you have the chives in the freezer bag. You have the chives in the ice cube tray with the olive oil. We're dehydrating the rosemary and the parsley. And now we have the sage. And I just wash all of these and put them through my salad spinner. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with the sage is I'm hanging these. Now I hang sage, lemon balm, peppermint, especially the peppermint. I love the peppermint for peppermint tea. That's what I use it for. And I find if I heat it with the dehydrators, even at a low temp, that I don't have the oil compound that I need when we're sick. And there is nothing better than peppermint tea. Look how easy this is. I actually have peppermint and lemon balm hanging in the basement. And then what I'll do is I'll just hang it up and I let it dry. So our sage is done. We're gonna do the same thing with our oregano. Do any of you have other ways of drying oregano? I feel the same thing with the oil, like, you know how you can get essential oils with oregano oil. I feel the same thing with the oregano. If I dry it with a temp, I feel like I'm losing those essential oils in the leaves, where if I just let it hang dry, it doesn't seem like I lose so much. All right, there's our oregano. And then we have our peppermint. So all of this really took us no time at all. It took probably took me more time to get everything washed and dried than it did to preserve it. And then I'll show you what I do when we're done with this. Just tie it up. So I have a cold room, and that's where I keep all of my canned goods and everything like that. And it's about 67 degrees in there right now. And that's where I'll hang these up. My cold room smells amazing. But we've got all this done, all right? And then once we get to the dried part, once everything is dried, this is what I do. So this is all the parsley I have left. I don't know if you can tell. And I store them in mason jars. And we did some chamomile. And I have some dill, cilantro, and this is how much rosemary I have left, which is why I desperately needed to do the rosemary. We do use this all winter long. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, if you have other preserving ideas, please put them in the comments below. Share with everybody, because the more that we all share, the more we all learn. It is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something, and maybe you can save some of those herbs out of the pots from your deck or patio. Have a great day, and don't forget, please subscribe and like and share. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time. Oh, we are doing tomatoes. That big thing of tomatoes, that's what we're doing next. Canning up some tomatoes. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.